welcome back to my channel. In case you are new here, my name is Marissa. I am a pharmacist and health coach, and I make videos every single week to help you simplify healthy living. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I support my immune system naturally and the habits that I have incorporated into my daily routines that help me to strengthen and boost my immune system and just help it function the way that it is supposed to. It's pretty infrequent that I feel under the weather, and I really attribute this to the habits that I have incorporated into my daily routines, and I'm so excited to share this video with you guys. And I'm also going to share with you guys what I like to do if I kind of feel like something's coming on. Not to say that I don't come down with something, but usually the symptoms that I experience are pretty mild in severity. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like to see healthy recipes as well as ways that you can improve your health on a daily basis, like today's video. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do to help support my immune system naturally is to practice healthy hygiene. So washing my hands whenever I get home, as well as before I eat something. So making sure to wash my hands, wash my wrists, as well as underneath my fingernails. Also, I like to wipe down surfaces that are getting touched routinely, so countertops, doorknobs, even my phone. Your phone is a big one right there. And then also, when I am out and about, I try hard to not overly touch my face or to touch food, just because I haven't been able to wash my hands, and this is a really good way to bring germs into the body. Now, if I am out and about and I really need something, but I can't wash my hands with soap and water right away, then I will reach for hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is not going to be as good as washing your hands with soap and water, so that's going to be like the number one thing, but it works in a pinch, and if you really need something, it's nice to have on hand. This is the one that I like to keep on hand. This is called the Thieves Waterless Hand Sanitizer, and I have this like miniature size of it. I do have like a big one where I like refill this when I need to, but I have it like connected to this little like hook here, I guess. I don't even know what you would call this thing, but I just connect this to my purse, and that way I always have it with me and I never like forget it at home. I very rarely ever use hand sanitizer at home, just because, again, washing your hands with soap and water is going to be the best thing that you can do. But when you're out and about and you need something quick, this is a nice option. The reason that I really like to use this hand sanitizer is, one, it does not dry out my hands. It contains aloe vera as well as a plant-based glycerin. It's just to help prevent like your skin from drying out, which mine is very prone to, especially in the wintertime. I also really like the fact that it does not leave a sticky residue on my hands. I have found that a lot of other hand sanitizers can do that, and it just is not a pleasant feeling. So my skin usually feels pretty soft, and I don't have any like sticky residue with this. And the third reason why I really like this is because it smells really good. It contains peppermint essential oil in here, so it has a very like minty, refreshing aroma to it. Some of the other hand sanitizers that are out there on the market, to me, they just smell like a ton of chemicals, and it makes me feel nauseous, which is just not ideal. And also, some of them can contain a synthetic fragrance, which is just not my thing, as you guys are well aware of if you have seen some of my previous videos. So I prefer to use this. The second way that I like to support my immune system naturally is to make sure that I am getting enough sleep each night. If I'm being honest, this is the tip that I have to be the most intentional about, just because I can quickly get into a habit of not getting enough sleep. So this is something that I'm still, currently working on. And I strive to get like 7 to 8 hours. Doesn't always happen, but I strive to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. And hopefully I really want that to be good quality sleep, so that I wake up in the morning feeling well rested and just ready to go and ready to tackle my day. As you guys know, or maybe you don't know if you're new around here, I do not consume caffeinated beverages. I do have decaf tea, which decaf does have a little bit of caffeine in it, but it's not going to be as much as if you are drinking a caffeinated product. So coffee, no. Regular caffeinated tea is a no for me. I don't have pre-workout, pretty much nothing that has caffeine in it, just because it does not react well with my body. And so it's really important for me to prioritize getting enough sleep to feel well rested and, again, ready to go to start my day, as well as prevent the afternoon energy slump, okay? I notice that when I do not get enough sleep, my adrenaline can keep me going through the morning, but then the afternoon, like my energy just like goes down. And if I can get enough sleep each night, and it's good quality sleep, that usually does not happen for me. Now, very interestingly, a lot happens with our immune system while we are sleeping. So when we're sleeping, our body actually kind of enters like an inflammatory state, which sounds bad because usually whenever we're talking about inflammation and the body in the same sentence, it's usually a bad, harmful thing. However, in this case, this inflammation actually helps to benefit our immune system. For example, this inflammation helps us to target infections, it helps us with recovery, and it also helps to strengthen our immune memory. Immune memory has to deal with antibodies. So if you are unfamiliar with antibodies, really quick explanation of them is they are a part of our immune system and they are the memory component where basically they're created post-exposure to a bacteria or a virus. So if you come down with something, your body kind of has to work itself through that and fight it off. And what happens is you end up creating antibodies. This doesn't happen right away. It usually takes a little bit. So it's not going to like really kick in on like the first exposure, but your body is going to have this like memory stored so that if this particular like harmful bacteria or virus comes up again, your body's going to remember that and it's going to be able to mount a much stronger and better immune response against it and help protect your body from coming down with it again from that particular invader. Now, this inflammation that occurs while we sleep is going to return back to a normal level before we wake up. So this is a normal self-regulating system within our body. However, if we are not getting enough sleep, that inflammation does not have time to come down and the inflammation can persist at the level that high level. So this can actually contribute to a low-grade systemic inflammation, especially if you are chronically losing out on sleep or having good quality sleep or having enough sleep each night. And now this inflammation can become a problem for us and it can contribute to a low-grade systemic inflammation, meaning that there is inflammation going on throughout the entire body. And this can contribute to the development of several different chronic disease states and increase your risk of potentially getting one of these. So cardiovascular disease, diabetes, dementia, cancer, and even a mood disorder like depression. So it is very important for our immune system as well as our health just overall to make sure that we are getting good quality sleep and enough sleep each night. Now, personally, I used to almost like never struggle with sleep. I would put my head on the pillow, I was out and I was good. And I slept throughout the whole night, never woke up feeling good. So I almost never really struggled with it until a few years ago, and it just became not as easy to like fall asleep. I would wake up. It was just a whole thing. So I had to become much more intentional with sleep and to try to make sure that I am, supporting this area for my health and my wellness and just my sanity too, because when you're not getting enough sleep, believe me, you can you just don't function well. So basically what I did was I created a sleep routine for myself. So just a couple things that I do every single night, and it just helps to signal to my body that okay, we're going to bed soon. And I have found this to be very, very helpful. So if you are struggling with sleep, I highly recommend creating a sleep routine for yourself. And it doesn't have to be elaborate or anything. It's just a couple things that you do every single night, no matter where you are. And it helps you to, again, just signal to your body we're going to bed soon. So I like to start my sleep routine about an hour before I actually go to sleep at night. So I like to start by putting on my pajamas. I like to kind of dim the lighting. So I like to shut off the main lights, just put on lamps. I like to put the candlelight, flicker mode light setting on my diffuser. I think it's really pretty and cozy to look at. I also like to watch a little bit of television at night before I go to sleep, which is kind of a controversial thing to say just because the majority of people are going to say that the light that's coming from the television or your phone or the computer screen can disrupt your sleep. But for me, I don't really find that this does that for me. And really, it just helps me to kind of relax and, turn my brain off, which has been running all day long. And it's just a nice way for me to relax. And I like to watch something that's usually a bit on the funny side, just to kind of again, help me feel more calm. And laughing is a really great way to kind of release stress. So this helps me. Then I will do my skincare routine, remove my makeup, brush my teeth, floss, all of that stuff. And then I like to get my diffuser going in my bedroom. I have my diffuser running all throughout the night. And there are essential oils that are actually really helpful for supporting your sleep and to get good quality sleep. Lavender is my favorite one. I diffuse it every single night, and it has been very, very helpful to help support good quality sleep for me. And then I usually will like turn the lights off, get into bed. I will say my prayers and take a few deep breaths. And then usually at this point, I'm out. Interestingly, I have noticed that when I do not get to do my sleep routine, my sleep is just usually not as good. So I really try to prioritize it. And I'm not perfect with it. There are still things that I'm working on, but it has definitely helped improve my sleep. The third thing that I do to help support my immune system naturally is to find healthy ways to manage stress. When we are feeling stressed, our body is pumping out hormones like cortisol, epinephrine, another name for that is adrenaline, and we also have norepinephrine. There are some others, but those are just a couple examples of that. And I just know for me personally, like historically speaking, when I have gotten sick in the past, it's usually after like a really stressful time. So like maybe when I was in school taking a bunch of final exams, or when I was working at the pharmacy, like doing a 50 to 60 hour work week in the middle of flu season, that was very stressful. And I, sometimes would come down with something after that. So just stress really does have a big component here, and like stress can definitely influence our immune cells. For example, two proteins called Th1 cytokine and Th2 cytokine. So under normal conditions, Th1 cytokine is going to activate our antibodies, which are going to help protect us from a future exposure from a harmful invader that we have, come in contact with before. But when chronically stressed, the level of Th1 cytokine goes down. And in response to this, Th2 cytokine levels go up, and this can exacerbate and make worse allergies, as well as many different types of autoimmune diseases. So it's very important to make sure that we are managing stress in healthy ways. Some ways that really help me with this is exercising. I love to dance. It's my favorite way to exercise and also just to release stress. Shout out to my friend here for staying with me after a Zumba class one day to help me film this. I also love to diffuse essential oils. They have been very helpful for me to help me feel more calm and relaxed and to help kind of release stress. I love watching a funny movie. Comment down below if you know which movie the scene is from. It's actually one of my favorite movies to watch during the holiday season. Reading is also a great way to relax and take your mind off of things. I personally love a sweet romance novel. Those are my favorite. Some other things that I find helpful include sitting outside, getting some fresh air, hugging my cat if he lets me, which is not always an easy thing, drinking some herbal teas, taking a few deep breaths, eating some grounding foods. These can all be really helpful. And also doing the hard or unpleasant things. I have found that if there's something that I am procrastinating on, it just like stresses me out. It fills up my brain. And I have found to like just whatever it is that you're avoiding, like just do it, get it over with, because then it's done and like you can like free up your mind, and it is incredibly stress relieving. Now, if you're thinking, Marissa, I don't have time for all this, like sounds great and all, I'm happy for you, but like I don't have time for all these things, I totally get it. I don't have time to do all these things either. These are just like different ways that have helped me, and I kind of like think about it like a bucket of like stress reducing activities. And whenever I'm stressed out and I have, and I really need to prioritize like stress management, I just like pick and choose from the bucket as to like what I feel like doing in that moment. So I try to aim for maybe like 1 to 2 stress reducing activities each day. Every day is stressful, can't get around it, especially in today's world. And so I just do what I can, and I try to aim for like 1 or 2, like I said, and if there's anything else I can kind of throw into my day, it's really just a bonus. So if you are needing some stress reducing like prioritization and intentionality in your life, I recommend just like try to aim for like incorporating 1 or 2 things that help you to reduce stress in a healthy way and see how that goes. The fourth way that I like to support my immune system naturally is by maintaining good gut health. 70 to 80% of the immune cells that are in our body are present within our gut. So if you want to support your immune health, you've got to also support your gut health as well. And there are a couple of different ways that you can do this. The first way is to eat fermented foods on a regular basis. So this is going to help introduce as well as replenish healthy probiotic healthy bacteria stores in your gut. So this is going to be foods like yogurt, sauerkraut, kombucha. Those are just a couple examples. There are others. Yogurt is my personal favorite and the one that I eat the most and buy the most consistently. But if there's ever, some times where I'm just not, getting a chance to eat it, or I'm traveling, or just, just some weird stuff in there, I do like supplement it. And this is the one I take. It's called the Life 9 Probiotic Supplement. It has 17 billion active cultures in here, and it contains a lot of different strains like Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, Streptococcus thermophilus. So I really like it. And one of the things that I really like about this is that it's formulated in a special capsule that actually helps the probiotic like bypass the stomach acid, because if we don't have that, the stomach acid could just like degrade it and get rid of it. And then it's kind of like, why did we even take this for? So it can bypass the stomach acid and get to where it actually needs to be and increase our chances of it actually doing what we need it to do. So that's why I really like this one. The second way is consuming fiber-rich foods. So this is going to act as a prebiotic, meaning like a food source for the healthy probiotic bacteria that is located within your gut to help them be healthy and functioning and thriving. And secondly, it's also going to help promote healthy and regular bowel movements, which is very important for gut health and overall health in general. The third thing is to limit consumption of foods that are going to, one, either irritate the gut lining or disrupt the healthy balance of bacteria that's present within our gut. So this is going to include foods that contain highly refined sugars, vegetable seed oils, deep fried foods, that's a big one, and also foods that contain a lot of different chemicals like MSG, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose. And the fourth thing that we can do to help support our gut health is to support a healthy gut lining. And we can do this with regular consumption of collagen-rich foods. We could also supplement that as well. And also nutrients that are going to assist in collagen creation as well as function. Those nutrients include vitamin C, copper, zinc, manganese, glucosamine, chondroitin, and hyaluronic acid. We can find collagen in bone broth, gelatin, the skin of chicken. We can find vitamin C in citrus fruits like oranges and bell peppers. Food sources of copper include sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, cashews, and almonds. Food sources of zinc include pumpkin seeds, chicken, mushrooms, garbanzo beans, and grass-fed beef. Food sources of manganese include brown rice, oats, garbanzo beans, and pure maple syrup. And food sources of glucosamine, chondroitin, and hyaluronic acid include bone broth. The fifth way that I like to support my immune system naturally is to make sure that I am eating foods on a regular basis that are going to contain nutrients that are going to directly help support my immune system. So in the last tip, I shared foods that are going to support gut health, and that's going to indirectly support your immune health just because they are so closely interrelated or interconnected. But in this tip, it's foods that are going to directly help support the immune system. And you're going to see that some of these nutrients are going to come into this tip as well, just because everything is kind of overlapping here. So first of all, vitamin C. Vitamin C is going to function as an antioxidant. It's going to help combat inflammation and bring inflammation down and protect the body against free radical damage and oxidative stress. So additional food sources of vitamin C include broccoli, kale, cauliflower, potatoes, and tomatoes. We also want to make sure that we are consuming healthy fats that contain omega-3 fatty acids as well as vitamin E. So some food sources of omega-3 fatty acids include walnuts, wild-caught salmon, flax seeds, and avocados. And food sources of vitamin E include avocados, olive oil, nuts and seeds, mangoes, and pumpkin. The next nutrient that you want to consume to help support your immune system is also going to help support your gut health as well. And I was trying to figure out which point to put it in, but I just left it in this particular point. And that is vitamin A. Vitamin A works to help repair your mucosal barrier, which is found in the gut. And this is huge, you guys. I actually did not know this until I was researching for today's video. And when I saw this or read this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the coolest thing ever. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I actually did a whole video where I discussed the digestive system and I explain like in detail like what's happening there. It's a really good video to like refer back to for like a point like this. So just like a Cliff Notes version here, the mucosa is the innermost lining of the gut, and it needs to be protected from some of the harsh conditions that are found within our gut, like the stomach acid, and we protect it with the mucosal barrier. And this can get damaged, and so we need to be able to repair it, and vitamin A is a key nutrient to help us do that. And the reason that we want to protect the mucosa is because this is where a lot of the immune cells are located. Some food sources of vitamin A include our like orange, red colored foods. So it's going to be mangoes, cantaloupe, tomatoes, red bell peppers, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, but also some other foods that you may not think of. So this is going to be like kale, broccoli, eggs, specifically egg yolks. And that's why you should not be afraid to eat the egg yolk. There's so many nutrients present in there. So eat the egg yolk. Don't waste your money by throwing that thing away. And also milk can contain vitamin A as well. Another nutrient that you want to make sure that you're consuming on a regular basis includes vitamin B6, and this is going to come from food sources like beef, eggs, salmon, chickpeas, tuna, avocado, potatoes, banana, carrots, and spinach. And the last nutrient that I'm going to mention for this video and this tip is zinc. And you can find zinc in whole grains. This is going to be oats, wheat, quinoa, rice, along with foods like pure maple syrup, eggs, nuts and seeds, chicken and red meat, and also chickpeas. So after all that, essentially you want to just make sure that you are regularly consuming a diet that is eating the rainbow of healthy, real foods. And this is going to include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, and healthy forms of protein. Now, for me personally, I really do try to get these nutrients from food sources and make it as natural as possible. But there are just some days where I'm not eating enough fruits and vegetables in the day, or, you know, whatever it is, life gets in the way, you get really busy, whatever it is. And so I do choose to take a few supplements to try to help me out in this area. So there are two. I take one called Ningxia Greens. This is a green like superfood powder, and it contains 60 different like fruits and vegetables as well as mushrooms, and it's really helpful to help support the immune system, gut health, because lots of prebiotics in here, so you know, healthy food for the bacteria in your gut. It also helps to support energy levels, and there are so many different things in here, but the ingredients are like whole foods, which I really like. So there is like kale, parsley, broccoli, spinach, tomatoes, sweet peppers, shiitake mushrooms, strawberry. There's even like turnips and asparagus and ginger and garlic. So there's just a lot of different things in here, and I like to have this, and it just is like a nice way for me to supplement my diet, especially on the days when I really need it. And I also take this right here. This is called Ningxia Red. It is a whole food supplement. It's made with the Ningxia wolfberry, which is a specific type of goji berry, and it's crazy high in antioxidants. Antioxidants are very helpful to protect against free radical damage and oxidative stress. And you know, and if you have inflammation happening in the body, which, as we talked about earlier in this video, is very probable, especially if we're stressed out, not sleeping enough, what have you. So I like to take this. It just kind of gives me some more peace of mind, and I feel like I am really helping to support my entire body, especially my immune system. It is a liquid. I keep it in the refrigerator because it tastes the best when it is cold, and it tastes like pomegranate juice. Tastes so good. Does not taste like a supplement that has like a weird flavor or anything. It just tastes really good, and it's kind of fun to have like I kind of call it like a daily like wellness mocktail, and I just have this with like maybe some seltzer or water, and it's like a nice little afternoon like drink for myself, and it supports energy levels, supports your immune system, it supports really just whole body wellness, and it tastes really good. The sixth thing that I do to help support my immune system naturally is to make sure that I am getting enough vitamin D each day. Vitamin D is so important for our immune system, and there are a couple of different ways that you can get it. One, you can actually make it on your skin, which is pretty cool when you are exposed to sunlight. However, most of us are either wearing lots and lots of sunscreen, so that's going to prevent that from happening, or maybe we're wearing a lot of like clothing like I am right now, so we have less skin that's going to be exposed to the sun because we're in the fall and winter months and it's cold outside. Additionally, it's cold outside, so you might be spending more time inside. And also, you may have less time to expose your skin to sunlight just because it's dark when you go to work, it's dark when you come home from work, especially when you're living in the northern parts of the world. You're gonna have less sunshine exposure during the fall and winter months. Another way that you can get vitamin D into your body is by eating certain foods. Vitamin D is not naturally present in a lot of different foods. So if you see it like in milk or cereals or something like that, then those foods have been fortified, meaning vitamin D has been added into it just because they were trying to help correct vitamin D deficiency that was very prevalent in the country. But interestingly, and not many people know about this, but you can actually get vitamin D from mushrooms that were exposed to sunlight. So like us, vitamin D can be made on a mushroom when it is exposed to sunlight. And then when we eat the mushroom, we are going to be consuming that vitamin D. So that's pretty cool too. And the next way that you can get vitamin D into your body is if you supplement it, which is what I personally choose to do. I've always been kind of borderline deficient with it, which is what my blood work has come back to show me. And so I choose to supplement it. And this is the one I use. It's called Super Vitamin D. And each tablet is 1,000 international units. It was recommended to me to just take 2 of those, and I do this every single day. And it's kind of like a chewable tablet. It's kind of interesting from a like a pharmacy perspective. You actually just put the tablet on your tongue, you suck on it for maybe like 5 to 10 seconds, and then you chew it and swallow it, which is kind of different than a lot of like pills or supplements that are out there. And it has like a berry flavor, and it tastes really good. The 7th way that I like to support my immune system is by using essential oils that can help support the immune system. So my 2 favorites and most used oils is thieves and lemon. And these oils, they smell really good together, so I like to diffuse them. I usually put, especially in the fall and winter months, I like to diffuse thieves at least like once a day. And I like to diffuse it at night, like while I'm sleeping overnight. So usually when I'm sleeping, I diffuse lavender, thieves, and orange. And then sometimes if I feel like I'm a little like sniffly, then I will diffuse an oil called Raven, and that's actually good for respiratory support and help you kind of like breathe easier. So if I need that, I will put that in there too, but that's usually like the sleep, like essential oil blend that I diffuse every single night. And then I will also use these topically. So I will make a roller, dilute it with some carrier oil, usually jojoba oil, and I will apply this to the bottoms of my feet as well as like up my spine on my lower back area. And I do that before I go to sleep at night as well. And then occasionally I will also make something called Thieves Tea. So these oils are also vitality oils, and vitality oils for Young Living, they're just labeled, they're essential oils that are labeled for internal use or ingestion. So what I will do is I'll make like a cup of like chamomile tea. I'll put a drop of lemon, a drop of thieves in there, maybe like a little squirt of honey, and I will drink that up. The thieves oil gives it kind of like a spicy kick to it because it has cinnamon in there, and I think it tastes really good. And the 8th and final way that I like to support my immune system on a daily basis is just making sure that I am drinking enough water and staying hydrated. Water is so important. I actually have a cup of my hot water right next to me when I'm filming today's video. And water is very important. For one thing, it's really helpful for healthy blood circulation. So in our blood, we have different components in there, and a big component of our blood is called blood plasma, and a big component of that is water. This is very important because the blood is like a way of transportation. So we're getting nutrients to the cell and we're taking waste products away from the cell, both of which is going to be very important for supporting our immune system. Additionally, making sure that you are drinking enough water is going to help support healthy bowel movements. This is very important because we're going to get rid of toxins and waste products or byproducts that are no longer needed in the body. So we don't want that stuff hanging around. We want to get it out of the body. And staying well hydrated is also going to help our nasal passages. And this is a key part of our immune system as well. So when we are breathing through our nose, we actually have like systems set in place to help kind of catch viral invaders before they even enter the body, which is actually why it's healthier to breathe through your nose than it is through your mouth, because of these systems that are just naturally set up in place. And if we can help support this, and we can actually help support this by making sure that those nasal passages are moist, and we can do that by making sure that we are well hydrated. So it's good to get in the habit of making sure that you are drinking enough water in the day. I personally drink like non-caffeinated tea. I love to drink hot water and then just room temperature or cold water all throughout the day. And just as important as it is to make sure that we are consuming enough water each day to stay well hydrated, it's also important to be cautious of how much we are consuming beverages that are going to dehydrate the body. So they're going to have a diuretic effect. And this is going to include caffeinated beverages and alcohol. I personally don't consume caffeinated beverages and I don't drink any alcohol. So this is not something that I really have to think about, but I just wanted to mention it in case these are beverages that you consume. So those are the 8 ways that I like to support my immune system naturally. And now I want to share with you guys a couple of things that I do whenever I kind of feel like maybe I'm like, got something kind of coming on. So first things first, I run over to Whole Foods and I get a couple of their fresh pressed juices, and these things have worked wonders for me. So there's one called Green Lemonade, there's one called Mommy Boost, and then I also get a ginger shot, which is ginger puree and lemon juice. The Green Lemonade and the Mommy Boost juices taste really, really good, so those are a joy to consume. But the ginger shot is like the most disgusting thing I have ever tasted in my life. It's really not pleasurable, but it works really well for me. So typically what I do is I'll just take like the ginger shot, and it's not super big, it's maybe like this big, and I will just like chug that thing, have a glass of water next to me or something sweet nearby just to kind of like help with the aftertaste. But I will take that right away, and I just feel like you have like this burning sensation in your throat. And for me, it's just like, I know, I just feel so much better after I drink that. And then I will drink a little bit of the other 2 juices, the Green Lemonade and the Mommy Boost, every single day for maybe like a week, week and a half, until I'm done with it. And I usually buy like the biggest container bottles of those that I can find. And I have found that this combination has worked wonders for me. Additionally, I also do use a supplement, and it's called Inner Defense. This is not something that I take routinely. This is like on as needed basis only. And I maybe take it like one a day for maybe like 2 or 3 days, depending on like how I'm feeling and everything. And in here, it contains a couple different essential oils, including oregano oil, thyme oil, lemongrass oil. And it also has the Thieves essential oil blend in here as well that I showed you guys earlier. So this is what I take, and I have found that the combination of these things has been very helpful to help me support my immune system when I need it most. So that is how I like to support my immune system naturally and on a consistent and daily basis, plus what I like to incorporate into my routines whenever I kind of feel like I got something going on. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's not that I never feel under the weather, but it's just very infrequent, and I really attribute that to all of the daily habits that I have incorporated into my routines to really help me support my immune system. I will link all of the products that I use in the description box below, and I really hope that you guys found this video to be helpful. And I also just wanted to say that I did not incorporate all of these healthy habits into my life overnight. It took years and years to develop, especially as I was learning about them, whether that be in school or through continuing education or whatever it is, or just even through trial and error with just my own body and life. So it took me some time to develop, and ultimately I started with one thing. Once I felt, good and confident and consistent with that, then I added in something else. So what you're seeing here is the result of years in the making of trying to figure out how I can best support my immune system for my body, and also how I can do that on a consistent, regular basis. Until this day, I am not perfect with it all. Not every day is perfectly curated so that every single one of these tips is, achieved. But this is what I strive for, and I just do the best that I can. So again, I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that it provided you some inspiration on some healthy habits that you can incorporate into your own life if this is something that you are looking to improve health-wise. So give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I make a lot of different healthy, easy to make recipes all of the time. Plus I share lots of different ways that you can improve your health simply and realistically. Also, if you have any future video ideas that you would like to see from me, please be sure to comment those down below as well. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Remember that the time is now to get well, be well, and stay well. Bye.